Okay, so we're going to start with ladder stitch because we're going to do this loop, the loop part that goes around our little ring here. So that is going to consist of ladder stitch, and it's going to be, the loop itself is 11 groupings of 3. So on my needle I'm going to start with 6 seed beads. 4, 5, 6. I'm going to bring them to the end of my thread, and then to show you what ladder stitch is, I'm going to go through 3. I'm going to hold on to that to the end. And so I have 2 groupings of 3 side by side, and I'm going to reinforce this by going through these here, and then back down. Oh my and then back through these, okay, like that, and then back down these 3 again. And then I'm going to do my next grouping of 3. See, it should look like this. You want it nice, you want them nice together, sitting next to each other like that. And you want to go through them just the way I did a few times to reinforce it so that they will end up like this. And you're going to be adding, I'm coming out here, I'm going to pick up 3 more seed beads. Coming out here, I'm going to go around this way to add my grouping, and it looks like that. We're going to go through it again and go through our previous grouping again. So I'm just holding on to everything. You can't see it, but just holding on. And see, it looks good like that, but I want to reinforce it because this little loop is going to go around the ring, the cosmic ring. And since it is a crystal, I want this, and you're going around it, and it's going to fit around it rather snug. See, like that? Since it's going to fit around it rather snug, I want it to be strong, so that's why I'm reinforcing these groupings. So coming out, and I'm going to do another grouping of 3. Just the way I did, coming out up here, and then going in like that, circling around, and that puts it right beside it. And I'm just flipping it to make it easier for me to sew through it. And I'm going through it, and then I'm going to flip it again because I need to go through this one again, the previous one, and then I'm going to go back through this one again. And now I will be ready to add my next grouping. So you actually, you are going to have 11 groupings because 11 are what are going to go around your ring. But do a 12th one, because on the 12th one, that's where we're going to start doing our band. So go ahead and do 12 just like this, and I will meet you back. Okay, I have my 11 groupings, and once you have your 11, go ahead and do one more so that you have 12. So I have 12 on mine, and now what I'm going to do, and I'm coming out up here, I'm going to pick up 2 more seed beads, and I'm going to let them drop. I'm actually going to flip my piece, so I'm working like this. So I just added, I have 12, and on my 12th I'm going to just add, I'm going to come out of my thread here, I'm coming out here, and I've just added 2 more little seed beads. So once I add those, I'm going to add 1 more, but I don't want it to stack on these 2. See, these are my 2, and these are my 2, and I have 1 more on my needle. It's just hanging out there. I'm going to go through my first little bead like that, and I'm gonna pull, and you want to, and you're just gonna kind of have to fix this first one. So you want to come out with this, because I went through that first bead. Hold on, let me get closer. Okay, I went through that first bead. I put the 2 right there. Then I added 1 more, and then I went through that first bead here. So this is what you have. Now come down through this one, through that one you added, and you're gonna have to hold everything in place for now. Okay, so I'm coming out of that one. I'm going to add 1 more seed bead, and I'm going to go through this little seed bead here, and then the one on top of it, like that. And then I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to go through these 2 seed beads that are on the side. I'm going to pull down, and so now this should be easier. Now from here, I'm going to pick up 1 more seed bead. I'm going to go through this seed bead here, and then the one on top of it. So I'm always going to go through 1 and then 1 up, like that. And then pull, and then just go directly across. You're always going to go down 2. All right, so, and then just make sure your thread hides where it's supposed to. And then now here, again, you're coming out here, pick up 1, and you're coming out here, you're going to go through this one, and then the one on top. Okay, so you're going up 2, come straight across, and then come down 2. Up 2, down 2. And I really can't see this, so I'm just gonna move my piece around because I really can't see this. All right, okay. All right. So one more time, pick up 1, coming out here, I'm gonna go up these 2. Pull, and then straight across, down these 2. Now, so this is what we have. Now I need to add also 2 more little sections the way I did here. I have these 3, and then this grouping of 2, and then this grouping of 2. I need to do that on this side too, but I'm going to do the easier way now. I'm just going to add 2 beads. You can keep doing it the way I did this side, but I'm just going to do it this way because it's a lot easier. So now coming out here, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that everything is fine with my camera. Okay, all right, so coming out those 2, I'm adding 2, and I'm just going to go this way like this. I'm just gonna do I'm going to keep doing the 2 bead thing. I'm going to go up 2, or directly across, and then down these 3. So on this side, I'm just doing it like herringbone style. Okay, so this is what we got. Now we just want to add 2 more. And you could just go down 1, or you can go down 2, but I've been doing the 2, so I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to go down these 2, pull, straight across, and then come down these 3. So now we should have all 7 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I just want to reinforce this because it's kind of wonky. So go down there and up here through this one too. And now you're ready to keep doing your square stitch. So keep doing it the way I showed you. You pick up 1, go through this top one, and then down. And see, now it's way easier. Then you're going to pick up another one, go through this one and the one on top, come down this one. Okay, so now since you're all set, you can continue and do the size that you need. Okay, so we're ready to go, and I'm going to do a few more of these square stitches with you. Okay, so we're all set and we're ready to go. I have my first bead there. Now I'm going to pick up, I'm coming out of this bead here, this one here at the end, and let me get a little bit closer. Okay. All right. I'm coming out of this one here. Here's my thread. I'm picking up a bead and I'm going to go into this one here, and the one on top. Just like that. Pull. Oh. Well then, let me restring my needle. Happens sometimes. No big deal. Except when you're on camera and it doesn't want to cooperate, or you can't see. And okay. All right, again. Coming out of here, I picked up my bead and I'm going to go through this one and the one on top of it, like that. That will set my bead here where I want it. And then I'm just going to go down these 2. I'm just going to hold it. Okay. Now I'm coming out of here again. I'm going to pick up another bead. I'm going to go through this one. And the one above it. So I'm going to go up 2 like that. See which 2 I'm going through? Pull, and then I'm going to go down these 2. So up 2, down 2, and then just kind of, and then just pull, and there you go. One more time, 11-0, gonna go through this one and the one on top of it, so those 2, pull, and then down these 2. So that's your square stitch. Now I know that for my wrist I need to have, I think it was 34, and when I say 34, meaning if you count these beads, the beads on the end, it's gonna be 34 across. And I know that's what I need for my wrist. Just keep in mind the kind of clasp you're going to use. And so I know that for mine, once I put this little loop around the ring, it's going to be 34 that way, and then the other one's also going to be the same size. So go ahead and do 2 of the same size, and then I will meet you back. Okay, so now let's add our ring, or let's attach our ring. So what I did is I have the length that I need for my wrist. Here's our piece for the loop that's going to go around the ring. Then I did 27 long groupings, and since my thread was fairly long, I just left a tail long enough to add my clasp. And I want to, now I know how many I need, so I could have added my clasp, but I'm going to show you how to do the ring. That way you can try it on your wrist, and once you've attached both sides and you have your ring and you wrap it around your wrist, if it's too small, you can take off some of the beads. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so I still have my little tail thread here from the beginning. This is my half of my band, so I'm just going to just put it around the ring, and I'm going to attach, see those, this, hold on, let me take off my glasses because I'm nearsighted. All right, so this is what I have, okay? And I'm going to attach this to this one, all right? So I have my string here, and I'm just going to start here. I'm going to just put this there, and then in through here, and then I'm just going to snake my way to the very last one. Okay, my thumbs are in the way, so I'll just explain what I did. So I had a new piece of, or a separate piece of thread that was not attached to this. So all I did was I started here, I put my needle in through here, and then I went down there, and now I'm coming out here. So here I am, and here's where I started. So just leave it long enough. Doesn't really matter. All right, so now from here, I am going to attach. Okay. All right. Coming out here, and I'm going to go in through here. Coming out here, I'm going to go into this one. And I'm going to do that. And then coming out, and you're just going to connect it. Just connect it. And you don't have to, you can tighten it. Now you can tighten it. And then by pulling on your thread that was already there and the new thread, and then just reinforce that a couple of more times. And the great thing with this dragon thread is that you don't have to be afraid that you're going to bust any beads. So that is such a plus. When I did this the first time, I was worried because I did it with wildfire, and I had been I was worried that I was gonna bust beads. I didn't, but it was getting really snug, and I was having a really hard time. So you can do it with wildfire beading thread, but since you have this wonderful dragon thread now, I would just really recommend that. Okay, so I have it attached. Now's a good time to check all of these little groupings to make sure none of them are sitting like too far apart with like the thread, with just where you can see like that there's only one piece of thread. Mine looks good, so I don't think I need to reinforce anything around here. I'm just gonna go through this one more time, and I'm also gonna go through this here too, the part where my loop ends to where my band begins. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to reinforce that as well. So go ahead and do that, and you should also have the other side or the other part of your band ready too, so you can add that as well. So go ahead and do that, and then I will add my clasp with you as well. Okay, but before I do that, a quick tip. I'm just sewing down back my bracelet, and I'm just picking up these little teeny bridge threads and doing knots off of them. You don't have to do a whole lot of knots, but that way you can feel like your bracelet. I have to do a couple of knots. So that's what I'm doing. And what I'm doing with the rest of this thread, I'm just going to zigzag back up until I run out of thread. You don't have to do that, but I just want to. I just like sewing, snaking in through all of these groupings. But once you have your clasp on that side and you've picked up a few of these bridge threads to tie some knots, you can just cut your thread off. I'm just gonna sew my way back as far as I can up here, and then I'm going to attach the rest of it. Okay, now I'm going to attach my clasp. I already attached it to this side. I'm gonna attach it to this side now. And I finished up here, and I'm coming out here like this. I'm just going to go down to the to this grouping before that one, and then when I come out here on this side, I'm going to come out of 2, and then I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, and then I'm going to go through one of the loops, and then down my 2 seed beads. Then I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to go through 3 seed beads, 3 of them, like that. All right. And then from here, okay, oh my goodness, there we go. So added 2, went through my loop, went back down my 2, went in through 3, and I'm coming out of between this one and this one. So I went through 3 only, and I'm coming out of through there. I'm going to pick up 2 more, going to go through my loop. And this is not the prettiest clasp, but that's okay, because this is for me. So, and well, I shouldn't say that it's not pretty. It is pretty, but it's one that I recycled, so it's not new. But like I said, this is for me, and it doesn't bother me. So now I'm going to come out of these 2, and there's my clasp. Now I'm coming out through here, through this one. I'm going to go back and through all of these, and I'm going to go through everything all over again. And you can do that. I'm just going to do that a second time. But you can do that a third time if you want, because this is really great thread. And where you can go through these beads more times than you could if you were using another kind of thread. So I'm going through those through my loop, coming down these 2, now going through these 3, and after this I'm just going to add the other side of the band to the ring, and we will be done, or I will be done. Okay, so I'm going to finish reinforcing this, then I'm going to add the other side to my ring, and I will meet you back. Okay, so this is my finished piece, and I used the Duracoat galvanized pale gold, and I used the Vitrail Rose ring 20mm. So this is how it looks on, and this is the other one that I did. I did this in silver, and for the seed beads, and Paradise Shine is the color of my ring. So this is what you should have, and this bracelet should be snug. It shouldn't be loose to where this where it twirls around where it rotates around your wrist, where it's loose, because you don't want your ring banging up on anything. So not that it needs to be super tight, but it should fit comfortably snug. So this is what you should have, something like this, and it's a very beautiful outcome in my opinion. It even looks designer, and so this is what we got. I hope you enjoyed making this, and thank you very much for watching.